Notes. That's the audience. All right. My name is Don Chamberlin, and I'm going to talk about debt-free living. What would you do if you lost your job tomorrow? Would you be okay? Would you be able to pay your bills? What if it took you 4 months to find a job? What if it took you 6 months to find a job? Would you be okay? What if it took you 8 months? Would you lose your house? Would you lose your cars? How would you feed yourself? This is the situation that my wife and I found ourselves in at the end of November of last year. Her income was the main income of the house, and she was laid off. Her job was eliminated. She got 4 months severance. We had a lot of debt because we didn't know that you could lose your income. Most people believe that credit's a good thing. Most people believe that they cannot live without credit. That's just not true. The problem is that credit cards are out to get our money. That's a fact. In 2009, consumer revolving credit totaled $950 million. The average American household spends 14% of its income servicing that debt. Interest rates are going to go higher. The recent credit card laws made it to where credit cards can no longer do some of the things that they used to do, but they're going to find different ways to take money. And one of those ways is to raise interest rates. That means your payments that you pay now are going to get higher. How did we get here? How did this happen? Frontline, which is a news program for PBS, recently did a show called The Card Game. And it's about credit card debt and how we ended up where we're at. And one of the people they interviewed on The Card Game was the CEO from Providian, a credit card company from the 1980s. He talked about how before the 80s, the credit card companies had a business model where they would give people credit and they would pay that credit off at the end of the month. But Providian figured if we target people who are not going to pay their bill, we can charge them more interest, we can keep them in revolving credit debt for a long period of time, and we can make more money. They were actually shocked at the amount of money they made. They couldn't believe how big the profits were. And everybody else in the credit card industry and everybody else in the credit industry followed suit and changed. You want to know the funny thing? Is that we followed suit. We loved buy now, pay later. Absolutely loved it. Everybody believed that it was the way to go. But it wasn't the way to go. So what's the solution? What do we do now? Well, debt-free is not a new concept. Credit is the new concept. Your grandmother paid with cash. She did not carry a Visa card. Money that we use to service the debt now can be used as cash. In other words, if 14% of our debt, 14% of our household income is used to service debt, if we made $40,000 as a household, that's about $5,500 a year. That $5,500 can be used to service our cash needs. In other words, buying things for cash. If we get rid of our debt, then we can use that same $5,500 to pay the things that we need for. We just really don't need the credit card that we use. We just believe we need them. Dave Ramsey says that winning at money is 80% behavior and 20% head knowledge. We just don't do the right thing. We know what to do. We just don't do it. Some of the principles of debt-free living are budgeting, keeping a budget, tracking your money, finding out where it goes, finding out how to make it work for you, giving, having enough money to give back and making it work for others as well, having no debt, reducing your credit card debt and getting rid of it and paying cash, and savings. Having money saved so that in a time of emergency, when something happens, you have the money to actually pay for it. My wife and I were blessed enough to actually find a job within 4 months, to actually come up and replace our income. But I'll tell you, we learned our lesson. We never wanted to be in that situation again. Never wanted to find out what it was going to be like to have to foreclose on our house or have to lose our cars. We were lucky enough. But we learned our lesson. We decided to get into Financial Peace University class, decided to hopefully practice the principles that we're learning here. The truth of the matter is that a high credit score is not security. A savings account is security. Thank you.